Well, let me tell you, the News Journal got a story wrong a couple of days ago.
Right.
And today, rather than correct the story, they just doubled down on the area where they were wrong.
That's not true. Kashmira Harrison comes out and writes the story. She's new to the job. She was working in a backup role at the Good News Journal. Now she's the reporter. Yesterday, Mike Gardner wrote to her and said, hey, Kashmira, you missed the deal where Ted was admonishing the city commission, and poor guy, Scott Kent, who was the editorial writer, believed what Kashmira said, and that's where the problem happened.
Well, I wouldn't know their internal workings,
well,
but either way, they got it wrong both times.
Ted, I just told you the internal workings.
Okay.
All right, so here's the deal. We need a letter writer to respond to the editorial.
Well, I think we can probably arrange that, Big.
In the near future.
Yeah, the problem we have is that you notice many of these critical letters never get published.
Well, that's a good excuse for doing nothing.
Well, it's not that they're not doing nothing, Big. I know
I'm just telling you.
Never been published, but I'll be happy to do another one.
Well, I didn't say you should do it.
Get it up on social
media.
Wait a minute,
hey Ted, take a breath. I didn't say you should write it.
Okay.
Mike Gardner wrote the other letter. Why don't he write one in rebuttal of this editorial and explain it to people? Because obviously people don't know nothing.
Yeah, well, that's true. Better, what is it they say, Big? Maybe we should stop reading the paper. Better to be uninformed than misinformed.
I don't agree with that, but you're entitled to your opinion. Now, why don't you tell people what you did to solve the problem?
Well, Big, the city came to terms with Monica approximately the middle of November. They got her into an agreement that she could never ever comply with. She told them she couldn't comply with it.
You're going to tell you what?
Approximately 2 weeks from the middle of November to the end of November.
Ted, take a breath.
Yep.
Ted, I got to break in. You say Monica agreement she couldn't comply. You have to tell people why and what it was she couldn't comply with.
Well, she explained that her income was such that she could not afford $50.59 a month.
There you go.
The next 60 months.
There you go. That tells the story.
People living on fixed incomes, getting an extra $50 out of it is a challenge.
Well, I don't think editorial writers like Scott Kent, who makes big money, and even probably Kashmira Harrison, and I don't know the girl. She did not call me. By the way, I called her yesterday to try to help her. She was on vacation. I called her today. I left a message yesterday. She didn't call me back. I called her back today. She has yet to call me. So that's a strike against her. But we got to remember that people don't understand that $50 to some people is a lot of money.
It certainly is, Big, and in this instance it was. So then we had approximately a 2-week period when the city was doing nothing but congratulating itself on what a wonderful bargain they had struck with this lady who couldn't afford the bargain that they had struck with her.
Right.
And I guess on or about the council meeting on December 1st, this was brought to their attention. It wasn't, a flattering attention getter for sure. I'm sure they felt embarrassed by what they had done.
Who brought it to their attention?
Big, I did. I brought it up at council. I expressed my outrage that they would do this. That a city the size of Port Orange, as profitable as Port Orange, as wasteful as Port Orange, would do this to a resident of our city. It outraged me, and I expressed that outrage. And I'm sure they felt. I'm sure their ears were burning at the end of it. And then we heard a lot of hokum about they were going to work on it. They were going to take care of it. They were going to. But to my knowledge, they've done nothing to date. So a short while after, we did establish a trust account and to take payments to assist Miss Jones with her water bill, and I think that has been going along wonderfully.
All right, you want to tell people a secret account so they could contribute to it if they wanted to?
Yeah, the secret account is at any TD Bank in Volusia. Simply walk in or go to the drive-in and give them your money, your check, and say you'd like to make a contribution to the Monica Jones Water Relief account, and they'll be happy to take your payment.
Monica Jones Water Relief Fund, right?
Yep.
And Monica needs your help. I've contributed. You've contributed. Some of my friends have contributed. So we might just, if we can get a story in the Good News Journal, we could get it handled in a week.
And let me tell you, Big, in addition to those contributions, we had a wonderful, fantastic, rather large contribution yesterday by a local developer who needs a big shout-out if I can do
Why
that.
not? Why not?
Well, Monica called me today to say that yesterday a courier came to her home, and the courier had a $1,000 check from Paul Hollab, Hollab Development.
Good for him. See, that's what I mean. See, and we're trying to get the word out. So congratulations. I knew Paul Hollab when he was young. I used to take. He was doing what he was doing, but he mostly was doing these Porsches, and every time he brought one of these damn cars to my shop, I'd be holding my breath, thinking, "Don't scratch that sucker! Don't scratch it!" You know. And so, at any rate, he had all these fantastic cars. I think he was in with his dad. Man, my brain, I can't remember that far, but this is 30 years ago.
Yeah, he goes by Paul Jr., so I guess probably it was with his dad in those days.
He's a good guy, so thanks, Paul Hollab. And Paul Hollab, by the way, wrote, I was going to call him. He wrote a thing that said he was going to share his Christmas with people that needed the help, and he did it. Good
well,
for
let me
you,
tell
Paul
you, it
Hollab.
gets even better because I guess Monica told me he intends helping people for the 12 days of Christmas, and her $1,000 was half of the fourth day.
Yep. No. This is a good guy. That was all outlined in the paper, and congratulations to Paul Hollab.
Absolutely.
And thanks, Ted.
Let me kind of express a little more outrage if I can here for a moment.
You got to go.
Government oftentimes, and in this instance, is the problem.
Ted, you can't just talk. We got to talk back and forth. I was trying to tell you that we have guests sitting here, and so we have to go quickly.
Yep.
All right.
So do you want me to go quickly, or are we done?
No, go quickly.
Yeah, go quickly, Paul. The big, government is the problem here in this instance. Do you think for a minute anyone in the private sector could do what government did here in a heavy-handed fashion? If Bright House tried billing a customer for $3,000 and then wanted to take a lien on their home to perfect it, they'd be laughed out of town on a horse. But yet government, because of its unique position in society, can oftentimes be abusive.
Well,
I think exactly what they did in this instance.
I think that the people that are sitting up there on the city council of Port Orange should have done better, and we're happy in this Christmas season, but I think you would have done it in any season, that you went out there and took the initiative and helped Monica Jones Water Relief Fund. Great.
Yep, we sure did, Big, because, again, sometimes you just can't hold your nose enough when you see actions like this that are being done in all of our names.
Ted Noftall, Mayor Pro Tem, City of Port Orange, and going for Mayor of the City of Port Orange. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Big. Bye-bye.
All right, I'll be right back after these messages.